Welcome back to another Bit Legends video, boys. Today we are going to do some war. So I see yellows have been in the middle of their uprising. Yellows haven't been doing very well because they like to push when it is not right before the daily reset. But they still have done a push and they must be dealt with a little bit. So let's see what we can do. We're gonna move on over here, and hopefully we can take out a little bit of yellow. The purpose of this video is just to show a little bit of war. This is the second season of war, and to kind of show off what tanks are doing these days. I'll try to click and try to get some higher opponents. If they're like below 3% for the progress, I'll try to use the avoid button and try to get some bigger fish so we get some more interesting fights. Here is another tank. Let me just make sure the volume's not too loud. It's always too loud. All right. Kind of see what he's up to as well. A lot of players are really hesitating to invest in their monster fusions, and I totally get that. We don't know what new content is around the corner in the next 3 to 6 months, or players are focusing on their character and not their monster minions. So I totally get that too. I'm kind of in that ballpark. Most of the fusions I did were for videos, and the upgraded monsters I did were the really easy ones, like you're seeing Moonlight and Final Mech. You guys have seen those guys before. If you are interested in going plus 10, I would suggest those guys. They're super easy to make, no big deal. And if they are outclassed or obsolete in the future, it's not gonna change your life. It's not a big deal. But all right, so hopefully we'll finish chewing through this guy, showing off the benefits of being a defensive player. But this is something that we're going to see pretty often. We might see it on my side if I get blown up by a DPS, or we might see it if I keep fighting tanks, where the tank stays alive, but the whole team gets blown away. And what we really want is to see the redirect bonus added to this game to give tanks a way to defend their teammates. It's one thing for the tank to stay alive, that's his job, but it's also his job to protect the other people on the team and to really kind of fit that class fantasy of being the tank, being more than just a meat shields, taking up the front slot is really what we want to see. So this is going to be a relatively tricky battle. I do have more total stats on the enemy, so we've got the advantage there. And again, I don't know exactly how war scales your opponents, but I do think it scales it. I know if there's enemies that have more stats than you, they get scaled down so that you can fight them. But I don't know. I don't know if it just leaves people alone that are lower total stats than you, or if it scales them down as well. Some of these fights do feel a little bit easier. But here we go. Relatively close one, but we are wrapping this up, hopefully, pretty easily. Let's just make it happen. I've done a little bit of changing. I took off the full armor mech. I still think he's good, but even though he's got 55% speed, his agility is very low, and he might just be a little bit too slow. Vashir, I don't know if I fought Vashir before, so let's do it now. Like I said, he's above 3%. So let's get on in here. You see my team again. Deity is +2, Swordsman is +0, Moon and Final are +10. So nice little reflect, getting a quick score there. We do the attack all skill. I like the attack all, does a lot of damage. It might make it more likely for the enemy's autopilot to use healing skills instead of attacking me. And then also, sometimes when you get a reflect, it's not enough to kill the guy who got reflected. But if you have that attack all skill kind of lowering everybody down, it's more likely that a reflect will work. But I only have one source of reflect on my team, which is me. I think I'm around like 18% or so when I switch my equip. But I have to give up a lot of other things to make that reflect happen. Naira, this is going to be a difficult one. I think I win like 1 out of 3 fights against Naira. At least that's what I've seen so far. But my sample size is relatively low. We're going to turn off auto. We're going to hope for some good RNG. Come on. Give me that RNG. Pet procs are going to be terrifying. Attack all skills is going to be terrifying. We just lost 2 people with 1 attack. The first attack Naira does takes out 2 people on my team. So we'll just keep that in mind. This is still up again. With this mount, you have to be very careful. You have to click on the person. You saw I clicked on the head of the character, but it still hit Deity right behind me. That actually might cause us to lose this fight because I think we were relatively close. If I don't get like a deflect or something, a reflect, we're pretty screwed here, and there we go. So that is a known issue. We talked about it, reported that one before. With that particular mount, most of the time, even if you are just like pinned, let me cancel this guy, he's too low. Even if you are super accurate clicking on the enemy, you can't click on the mount, you have to click on the enemy's head, and there you saw me hit Deity with that. So that's been reported. It's not the end of the world, not a big deal. The chance of us running into Naira again is relatively high, so we can see if we can avenge that. But it's a shame. I think if that attack target went to Naira, I think we had a chance there. Because right after we hit, he went and healed and we didn't get it, so. Either way, let us continue. I kind of want to do some sort of cosmetic event in the future. How we would do it could be difficult. What the most likely way to do a cosmetic competition would be open up a channel in the community Discord and let people post their cosmetic to the channel. Unfortunately, at the moment, there is not a view command, so I can't just view characters and pull up people. But people could, they could post. I think that would work. Again, he's above 3%. Let's keep going. And then what would the rewards be? I don't know. Probably friend slots or something. I don't know. Maybe flare in the Discord. We can give a special role, different name color, something like that. But we'll see. More community events like that will be forthcoming, just, as people get creative and we kind of think of fun things to do. But here we go. Big damage, big damage. Woo! That kind of shows the total stats advantage I have. I probably have at least 200 total stats on this guy. But it is nice to see other opponents other than just the same 5 people that you fight in PvP all the time. Let's get him out of there. I probably should have hit the healer. Should have taken Pharaoh out in case he wants to get all healy with it. I'm not about that. But as you can see, another tank enemy where his entire team gets sniped out, but the tank is still there. So, yep, you're able to stay alive, but tanks have no real ability to keep their teammates alive right now. And that's something that would benefit tanks in PvP, of course, but more importantly, it would benefit them in PvE content, such as raids and boss, especially in that world boss. But here we go. Chewing through, no big deal. Right now, all a tank can do other than just hoping to get hit is maybe you have a weapon that has some heals, but you're not going to have offensive stats, so your healing is going to be extremely weak. Alright, we get to fight Naira again. And that's pretty much all a tank can do. I mean, your pet procs heal a little bit, but, my pet proc healing for 700 to 1000 is not going to offset, my team getting one shot. So there's improvements that can be made. Alright, so deflect's pretty much evened out here. Very nice. The player is down, so we benefited from a little bit of positive RNG there. And I do think that we can clean this up. I'm going to go random on this one. The only guy I didn't want to hit was Azure with that random attack, but you know what? It worked out. And let's wrap it up. And then we have Alien Superman, very unfortunate hero. Alien Superman would be a phenomenal tank if he had tank bonuses, but as it stands right now, he does not. And he's just kind of an empty slot right there. So there we go, 1-1 with Naira. Nice to kind of get some RNG in our favor. And let's go on back. Noodles, above the 3% mark. Okay, let's do it. 3% is just like an arbitrary mark that I've picked. I don't want to have to click avoid and try to roll for a better opponent too much. But at the same time, I want to show some fights that are relatively interesting, even though I do have a total stats advantage on most of the people that we're going to see. I think Naira is the top total stats on the server, possibly in the game right now, because Naira has upgraded a bunch of mythic items. But many players like myself are waiting to do any upgrades. We want to see what the sets look like. We want to see, how many total stats the set are going to have. What are the bonuses like? Or maybe I'll just hold out and try to get gear from Raid 8. I don't know. We shall see. But We got a quality of life update coming tonight or tomorrow, and then 1 week from now we should be seeing the guild boss coming into the game, and that would be when the set is released. Naira again, this is for the tiebreaker. This is for that tiebreaker. Make sure I'm not on autopilot. Okay, here we go. Am I going to accidentally click on DD again? Taking out Azure quickly is very lucky, but we just lost our entire team. And that's pretty typical for what happens. We're probably going to lose this one, but let's just see if I can click on Naira. I'm going to try to click on Naira directly right on the head, and we still hit deity. I clicked specifically right between the eyes on Naira, still hit deity. So, anyways, that's something that we told the devs about it, and they said, okay, yeah, we're going to work on that. Do I want to take out Kira, or do I want to go to Wasteland Pearl? How many? I've got 12 ticks left. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. What I honestly should be doing is I should be defending all these, but you know what? Making a video. I'll just blame it on that. Ifu, above the 3%, another tank. I'm surprised to be running into all these tanks. Maybe I'm just running into the same person and not noticing. But typically I run into maybe like one tank a day, and it's usually just a Wookiee. Can we auto this? Let's find out. Again, I should have a total stats advantage. Our minion team is relatively similar. I don't know if you can click the enemy opponent and see what gear they're wearing before you go in the battle in war. I know you can do it in PvP, but I'm kind of curious to see, like, since he got chopped in half, did he have any damage reduction? Or was he like a dodge tank or something? But we wrap this one up. Not too much to say about it. I do hope the audio quality today is decent. I'm on the roof on a building in Latin America right now because reasons is why. So we're just chilling up here. Zach Reborn. Do I want to roll and try to get let's see if we can get a higher percentage. Not lock, there we go. This is a fight that could go either way, 50-50. And now keep in mind, 50-50 means I'm manualing and I'm actually actively trying to compete against what is just the autopilot. So we did get a reflect in there. It wasn't a big one, but I will take it because I will have to. Really want to attack the player here, and that's the downside of swordsman, is that he can't snipe unless the enemy is in the back. But it did bait not into using a healing skill instead of just completely blowing my team up, so I do think that is a positive. We really need a strike there. We didn't get it. We're going to go for another attack team. Hopefully we can keep Not on the defensive because he's very low. We got lucky with a reflect, and we're going to pull this one out. I do hope and think that we're going to see Not again before this series is over. I also have at least 100 total stats on Not as well. So keep in mind, my whole, half my team got one shot on the first attack, even though I've got a massive total stats advantage. And I'm not necessarily saying this should change, that should change, anything like that. That's not the point of this video. I just want to show what the reality is because a lot of players have no clue. So, hey, we get to fight Not again. Let's see how the RNG goes this time. But I just want to get a little snippet of what the reality is. Because if you play a DPS player, you're like, oh, everything's fine, nerf reflect, it's too strong. And you have no clue what the reality is on these fights. When you play DPS, most of the time, unless you're trying to dodge reflex and use specific attack target skills, you can pretty much auto everything that you're going to come across. And if you know you're going to fight someone difficult, you just manual it, you get your SP, and then you just take out the target if it is a DPS player, or you just take out their entire team if it's a tank. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. Not is a pretty tanky boy. It takes 3 snipes plus a strike. If we didn't strike on that one, I think Not would have survived. So very, very tanky there. I use Not a lot in World Boss, and a lot of times my entire team will get destroyed by the AoE attack from Adam. However, Not will get like a block or a deflect or absorb or something, and he'll survive and he'll be able to get his ultimate skill off and actually pull out a win there. So there is something to be said for having a little bit of defense on an offensive character. Eddie-san, do I want to fight him? I think I'm going to try to bump it up and see if I can fight opponents over 5%. That's less. Naira again. So I think this is the 4th time we're fighting Naira. Now, it might be easier just to try to fight easier opponents if my main interest is getting the percentage on capturing these buildings. However, if I win one and lose one against Naira, I'm still averaging 4.5%, which is higher than the enemies that I'm fighting typically, and it makes for a better video. We did get a reflect, but it was only like 200 damage. I don't know what the heck that was. What skill in this game does 200 damage? I don't know. But you know what? I'll take it because it means I didn't get completely blown up. The healing pet for 955. Someone told me that, hey, that healing pet heals for 2,000. I have never seen that, and I've been using this healing pet for quite a while. Not a lot of damage there. I was hoping that was going to do more with the AoE attack, but we're able to pull this out. I think this brings this me against Naira to 2-2. So there we go. I really hope the wind on this roof is not messing up my audio right now, and I don't have to ditch this clip or kill all my narration and put on some copyright-free music, but we might have to do what we gotta do. Eric, let's try to get a higher opponent. Easy, PK. I don't want to keep rolling all my gold off, but let's do one more. Whoop, not lock, there we go. All right, I think I'm 2-1 against not lock, but I've already kind of forgotten the score. Let's see how it goes. I'm really fearing the attack pet. Luckily, we didn't get critted by the attack pet. If the pet doesn't crit, it does like 600 damage. If the pet does crit, it kills your entire team. And speaking of killing your entire team, you get to see the attack all skill there doing almost just that. But we're still in it. We're still in it, a couple deflects away from possibly. And then there you also see the healing bug, where sometimes heals display more than what they actually give, but that's not why we lost. We just got completely wrecked. And that's a pretty typical fight against any top DPS player. Vashir, he is above the 4% mark. That'll be fine. So I think that brings us to 2-2 against Not, something like that. I don't know, maybe you guys are keeping score. We have fought Vashir before. This would give us a little bit of a breather until we fight another Naira. I don't know who else is on yellow, but as far as big boys, it's only Naira and Notlock that I run into. Can we take him out? There it is. Players out, we can auto it. And again, don't forget that I've got a total stats advantage on pretty much everybody, except for Naira. I'm very curious how the total stats are going to be once the sets are in the game, because people can kind of see what gear they want to go for, and then that's when people really separate. 9 lives, okay, this will be fun. 9 lives, hopefully 8 lives after we win this one, but we shall see. And here we go. Fortunately, 9 lives has the Saw, which I think only has like an attack 2 skill, so the chance of one round taking out half my team or all my team is a little bit less, so we should do a little bit better. And then I think I've got like 100 or 200 total stats on him. We're gonna try to snipe out the player, and we get the strike. There we go. If it was up to me, I would probably use snipers that have a speed bonus instead of strike. The strike has not been consistent enough for me to really like it, and I like consistency. It's, you know, one of the reasons why I'm playing a tank, or hoping to play tank. I like that consistent bonus there, and hitting first is always very important. We're gonna fight 9 lives again. He has not had enough, aka 8 lives, soon to be 7 lives. I could make a whole video just fighting him. Let's take off autopilot. Oops. Took me a second. Autopilot button could be a little bit bigger, that's all I'm saying. These big thumbs. Bang, bang. Alright, 1 deflect, tank down. No strike on that one. Again, I told you, not that consistent, but I'll take what I can get. Come on, Pet Rock. Can that take him out? Yes, it does. Whoo! The snipe with the strike. I will take it. And we wrap that one up. Hopefully I can flip this building before I run out of energy, but I've only got 3 more. I guess if I keep rolling for high opponents, it might do it. That's 2%, and Naira again. I've already lost count of where we're at, but it's fairly even. But keep in mind, I'm fighting autopilot. I'm not actually, if Naira was here playing against me in real time, I think the results would be quite different as well. But here we go, got some strikes out there. All right, we lost 2 teammates, but we're still in it. Bang, bang, bang. Alright, we've got to be very careful to click Naira and not to click on Deity. We're totally going to click on Deity, I can feel it. Oh, we're just not going to click on anything, we're just going to get blue blown out. Hey, we got one reflect. Okay, we're still in it. We're still in it, boys. I'm going to save up for a mount skill to take out Pharaoh. Little reflect didn't do a lot of damage, but it didn't have to. That was probably overkill on that one. Reflect happened there and there. Keep in mind, I've got a lot of reflect on, and I have to give up a ton of bonuses to have that reflect. But since my limiting factor in PvP is not my tank survival, it's everybody else's survival, it doesn't make sense for me to come in here with, 70% damage reduction. My tank is not the one getting dropped. Oh, I don't want to defend, I clicked the wrong thing. Oh, whatever. Naira again, back for another battle. And here we go. I think the optimized tank build, I would like to have 100 block and then like 25% diversion. I think that would be pretty nice. Or you could just go full crazy and try to get 40 diversion and full stamina and make that work. And just leave it up to RNG. I don't know. Either way. Slowly, as I start to get all different kinds of chips and amplifiers and things like that, we'll be able to do videos. I clearly clicked on Naira, but actually ended up hitting Deity behind. I really don't think that would have made a difference in this battle, although that reflect keeps me in the game. I'm going to save it for a mount skill. Even though he full healed, he can't handle the mount skill. And then I just had to take this one down. So we barely pulled it out there. And keep in mind, without bragging too much, I do believe I am the most geared tank in the game right now. So, not every tank is going to do this. This is like the 1% of tanks. Hey, we got the thing. We got the thing. Look at us. Red. I've only got like one action point left, so I'm actually going to defend where I'm at. If I use the action point to move, then I can't show you guys one more battle. And who is this? Don't know. Let's get one more big boy, not lock. One more chance. One more chance. All right. Really hope the patch is tonight for all the quality of life. Every time they announce a patch, I get so excited because everything they're announcing is awesome. They're focusing so much on quality of life. They're keeping up with bug fixes. I mean, what more can you ask for, really? Beautiful reflect there. Is it going to be enough to make this battle happen? I don't know. We're going to have to save up for a mount attack. I don't have snipe skills, so I'm just going to have to save up for a mount and hope for a reflect. Alright, this should be enough to... Oops, stay alive, stay alive. Okay, he healed. We did get a reflect, but he healed back up. We are going to mount skill Pharaoh, so one healer's out, and I think we're still going to get dropped. Oh, so close. But we have a lot of battles like that. So there you go. This isn't a video about crying about tanks or this and that. It's just a video about what is the current state of the game right now. And I think this is a very, very clear representation of what tanks do. Keep in mind, I am literally, I believe, the top tank in the game right now for however long that lasts. And my whole point is, so we're at 12. I'm just doing this free to play for war mode. But my whole point is that if I'm having this level of difficulty fighting opponents, what do you think every other tank in the game is doing? So we're at like 9, 3, 3, 7, I think 10,000 is the next one. So I guess I'm at captain now, and then I'll get to major. But anyways, that's my thing. It's not really a rant. It's just a snapshot of where things are. I think